The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a Jackalope folk warlock.
I'm Connor Shenold, I play Jaska, a Coyote Ranger.
I'm Johnny, and I play Twitch, a rat folk wizard.
I'm Kimberly Cross, and I play Beatrix, a Tabaxi rogue.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a balsam fighter.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Ziansi, a spiderkin cleric.
And I'm Aaron Cross as your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Wilds. Lazuli's home looks to be one of the older homes in the city. It is quite large and stands out quite a bit with its blue coloration and elaborate designs on the windows and the woodworking. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to go up and knock on the door.
As you go up, your hand almost hits the door, preparing to knock. The double doors swing open to reveal a common room type area, and as you enter, an almost ghostly apparition of Marquis Lazuli appears in front of you. Terribly sorry I could not join you all in person, but this will make do.
Mr. Lazuli, did you know that I can, see right through you? Are you sick?
No, I'm just not here in person. I'm still in Bleakburn, helping Oribos with the loss and the chaos that the showrunner caused. That doesn't just solve itself immediately.
So did you die and now you're a ghost?
No, I'm not a ghost. I just look like a ghost.
Like an illusion of yourself here.
Yes.
All right.
This is so cool.
Would Twitch know astral projection without having to roll anything? Billy, what he's doing is leaving his body and coming here and watching Billy.
He's thinking.
And enters another plane of existence and travels a short distance through it, but comes out here. And that's how we can see them.
I'm just not gonna think about it too hard. Hello, Mr. Lazuli, we're happy to see you.
And I hope to see you in person, probably around Oberon's ball. I did talk to you about getting invitations. I can secure your invitations to the ball itself.
And we'll just pick those up when we get there.
But there is something I do need you all to do for me before that happens. It's just a quick little thing. Might be a little hard to do, but it's something that needs to get done. Also, if you all wish to sleep here, the rooms upstairs are open.
Excellent. Well, we
Thank
didn't have a
you.
place to stay, so this is fantastic.
Quite the bargain.
Lazuli eventually leads you into a room off of the main common room you originally walked into. As he opens the doors, it reveals a large table set with various types of food, and especially pixie puffs for Billy. Please feel free to partake, a very finely dressed man says, putting some final things down on the table.
Billy will pop a pixie puff. Is it a Whitaker pixie puff?
It is definitely not as good. It's not that great. It's all right.
He leaves the rest of them on the table.
Lazuli's apparition will look to the finely dressed man in the room and says, "This is my butler, Barnaby. He will provide you with anything else you need once I eventually leave you all to your business. Please take a seat. Feel free to have some food."
Jessica will take a seat and pick up one of the pixie puffs and start to dig in.
Wait, Jaska, they're not good.
I didn't get to have very many at the Duke's.
Let me tell you, they were real nice. Billy will find a little open area and he's going to fight Mudman. Because he and Mudman's sparring routine has been interrupted by murder mysteries in camp. So we gotta get back into training.
You kind of go to a little corner of the room and Barnaby, as you're fighting, takes a mop and kind of mops up the mud and cleans it off and nods to you, understanding that you're gonna do this, but he'll clean it up.
Well, Mr. Barnaby, if you have a tarp or something we could put down, that would make this a lot faster for you.
Or maybe like a courtyard, so it's outside.
But he said to wait here.
That's true.
Is there any meat?
Yes, there is meat.
We'll look around and find some meat to eat. Like it's been ages.
Zealous has a seat.
There's a few vials of blood on the table.
Oh, fantastic.
Because he knows you.
He is very thrilled. Oh, thank you very much. This is fantastic. So, Duke Lazuli, you mentioned you maybe had a job for us to do or some way that we might be able to help you.
Yes, after the events of the murders that happened in Bleakburn, almost everyone's families got closure, but one didn't. And I'm afraid no one has been around to give their family closure.
Are you telling us we're gonna have to go knock on Mr. and Mrs. Whitaker's door and tell them that their son has been murdered?
Unfortunately, it is only in Mrs. Whitaker.
This sounds like a job for Beatrix.
Or Jaska.
Definitely not you, Mr. Blackjack. And Deontay, why don't you stand in the back of the group too?
I understand that now. That makes sense.
Barnaby then produces a letter and a sack, and Leslie would go on. Once again, the only living relative of Whitaker we know is Vera, his mother. We don't know exactly where she lives, but I've heard someone of her description that visits the now closed Lazy Ladle quite often.
It's really sad.
Oh, dear. Bless her heart. She's just going and hanging out where her son used to be.
We'll be willing to take on this tragic manner, and she'll take the letter in the sack. I assume he's handing it over for us.
In the sack, there appears to be, it feels like there's a bunch of gold pieces maybe. Lazuli says, I know this might be hard, but I believe in you all. Please just be polite and respectful.
Couple, just quick thing. We didn't really ever know the real Whitaker. Can you give us like a couple of talking points? We want to say nice things, and we need nice things to say. We didn't know him very well. He was very good at making pixie puffs. That's what we know.
I will say that showrunner did a very good job of imitating him. Too extreme, almost like he knew him in and out.
Well, we wouldn't actually have been able to notice. What we knew from the showrunner was the kind of person that we knew from Whitaker.
Yes.
Right.
Up to the point where he went down into the treasure room and tried to steal everything. He was probably Whitaker up to that point. Very similar.
Okay, well.
That's good, because I liked him a lot.
Mudman, we're going to have to finish fighting later. And Billy is going to sit down and make another copy of Whitaker's Pixie Puff recipe for his mom.
With that final statement, the illusion of Lazuli disappears and leaves you in the dining room with food and Barnaby, which Barnaby will look at you guys and say, if you have any further questions, let me know. I know some things about the ladle itself and other such things.
So is the ladle just an empty building now?
Supposedly it closed down about a year or two ago due to health concerns involving a rat infestation. Naturally, after a little while, a group of stray cats eventually moved in, started feasting on the rats, and kind of made it their home.
Now there's a cat problem.
Now there's a cat problem.
Someone of Whitaker's mother's description has been spotted around the area?
Yeah, supposedly she brings some cat food to usually feed them. I mean, eventually the rats all died out.
She's a cat lady now.
You got something against cats?
No, I like Lady Beatrix. She's nice.
Thank you.
Cats are there, maybe Pumpkin might be.
This is a good plan.
Yes, I like
Let's
this
go
idea.
stake out the feral cat population and maybe find Pumpkin.
So, Mr. Barnaby, do we know how similar that Mrs. Vera looks to Whitaker? Like, would we be able to tell they're definitely related, or does she go there at certain times?
I mean, it's probably just like the only white kobold in the area.
I mean, kobolds aren't really that common, especially of white scale color. Most of the time we might see a few blue ones because of the heritage from the blue dragons. It's a little bit of a problem in the city.
She comes in the evening oftentimes, or what do your reports say?
In the evening, usually, yes.
Okay.
So, which should be soon, actually. The coins in the bag should be enough to let Vera live comfortably for the rest of her life. Whitaker would send back part of his pay to her to keep her comfortable.
How sweet of him. Well, I know we've been traveling for a bit, but best probably not to put this off for too long.
I think that's once we
Yes.
feed a little bit of food, and I think we're ready to go head on over to the Lazy Ladle, or what used to be the Lazy Ladle, the ex-Lazy Ladle.
Yeah, just have a bit of bite to eat, then set off.
Yes, let's please do. I am absolutely famished.
Barnaby lets you all eat and says, if you need anything, just give me a shout. And he leaves the room, leaving you guys to talk if you want to. Other than that, your food is great. There's a good mix of everything, all the food groups there, and you all have a good meal before heading off.
All right, let's head on over to the Lazy Ladle.
Barnaby gave you some directions, and they were extremely accurate. Moving through the city streets, you finally see what you can assume to be the Lazy Ladle. The building is in disrepair with its windows boarded and only the lazy part of the sign remaining. What was once a small, nice restaurant is old and ruined. And everyone give me a perception check.
Yancey has a little something in his eyes. It rolled a modified 12.
25.
24.
26.
Jaska, from one of the nearby buildings, you see a glinting from a nearby window of almost something made out of glass. You see it appears to be something almost like a wand peeking out of a window. Before you get any closer, the wand gets pulled back into the room, and you can make me a history check.
A 9.
Yeah, you don't really recognize it.
That's quite odd. I saw a wand peeking out from the window over there,
And there was a glint of almost like light reflecting off of it.
and it glinted weirdly in the light.
Is it possibly a telescope?
Looked like a
Whip my head
wand.
around to the window.
Give me a history check at advantage.
18.
You, being from the city, recognize this kind of description as a firearm. It appears to be pointed looking at the Lazy Ladle itself.
Okay.
Oh.
Now one move. Cat casual. It's a boomstick, not a wand.
A boomstick. Oh dear.
And just to give you a quick description of the building that appears to have this boomstick pointed out from it. The building with the strange figure in it appears to be some sort of hotel of recent construction. Appears to be a much larger spruce tree compared to the others around it, with various windows and what appears to be a lobby on its ground floor. A sign says the name of the inn, Let Us In.
That is brilliant.
Blackjack? Yancey, is it? I'm used to seeing firearms. Is this common?
I can tell you, of course, from our original world, there was plenty of people carrying firearms, but not here in the Feywild. Usually it's because magic is so much more prevalent here.
Maybe they're not Fey, and therefore they have to have something to give them an edge.
So, should we go into this let us in, or keep checking out the
Shall
ladle?
we go towards the Let Us In?
The window is where the boomstick was coming out of.
Yeah,
Is at the lettuce in?
Yes, it's at the Let Us In
Okay.
and pointed towards
Towards the.
the Lazy Ladle.
Oh yeah, we're going on in to the
Okay.
to the let us in because we got to figure out who it is in there who thinks that they need to protect.
And what does that building look like? Is it in good repair? Does it look like this
Oh
is
yes,
open?
the newer buildings are made out of spruce trees grown from the seeds and hollowed out a little bit to make buildings, whereas things like the Lazy Ladle are older buildings which are made like your material plane buildings, which you see basically a mixed match of these types of buildings everywhere. Jessica, what is your passive perception?
18.
18. You do see quite a bit of movement from the Lazy Ladle as far as the boarded up windows you can tell, and you do see a smaller, almost humanoid figure. She's probably already in there.
Well, I think who we're looking for is already in the Lazy Ladle.
It might be better for us to go in there, and then we can serve as a protection against. And maybe there's even a back door.
Just to clarify, the window that the gun was pointed out of, is it ground level? Is it up high?
So there appears to be like 3 layers of like floor. So of course you have the lobby, the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor. It appears to be up on the second floor.
Twitch is going to cast Arcane Eye. And then kind of have it maneuver its way up to the corner edge of the window. While Twitch is looking through this and sees the person.
Yes, so your eye enters a dark room with a plain bed and a few nightstands. The room looks like no one has actually really lived in it. The beds are freshly made and looks like the lights have not been turned on. Whenever you look over by the window, which you come in through, I suppose, you see a bedroll and various rations. A humanoid appears to have a firearm, and he looks very familiar. You recognize the form as Charlie Lloyd.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
The figure of Charlie Lloyd sitting near the windowsill of the Lettuce Inn. His once purple duster kind of replaced with a darker duster, and he now has on him a dark cowboyish hat. He appears to be sitting, eating a little bit of rations.
Hey, remember that, what was his name? Had the coat, and I'm just making hand gestures at random. Charlie.
The Revan?
Charlie Lloyd? Oh, the Raven. Yeah, see, he went by that.
That's who? Charlie in the window with the piece.
Charlie?
Oh, you weren't there. You remember when we first met and we went to go see our quote-unquote friend in the asylum visiting room? That was a holographic version, I think, or illusionary version of a Mr. Charlie Lloyd, who thinks he's like super cool, but he's not.
All right, thank you for that.
You also,
there was so much I had to take in at
Beatrix,
the same time.
You did actually meet him post spacecraft crash whenever you went to Ted's.
Yes, he was in Ted's backyard.
So this guy just kind of shows up the same way Pumpkin does. You just never know where you can find him.
If it's Charlie, and I think we should just send in Beatrix and Billy, and then the rest of us can check on Whitaker's mother.
You sure you want to send me in to talk to Whitaker's mother?
Okay, you can go after them.
I've been thinking about this, and I think that Beatrix and Jaska would be probably the best people to talk to Whitaker's mother. Charlie could be somebody who's a little bit dangerous, so I would like to say Billy, Twitch, Ziansi, and I go find and talk to him.
Hey, Mr. Twitch, can you do that little mind meld brainy thing?
And with his mind, he says, "You mean this one?"
Yes, that one. Just in case they need help.
Okay, everyone, we've got an hour before this wears off.
All right.
Okay.
And we can all talk to each other.
So 4 and 2, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with the 4 first. Entering to the lobby, it's quite nice and cozy with decorations of carrots and lettuce signs on the walls. One stands behind a desk with a Harengon woman standing there. The sign says, "Welcome to Lettuce Inn, where we really care about you."
That's a good joke. Mr. Blackjack, do you know this lady? Is she like a cousin or something?
The Harengon woman then looks up and says, "Hello, y'all. Please make yourselves at home. If you're looking for a room, I'm the one to talk to."
Well, my name's Blackjack. These are my friends, and we're visiting a friend.
He's on the 2nd floor, I believe. His name is Charlie. At least that's probably what he said.
But he might have given you the name the Raven.
Way to blow his cover, guys.
The Raven? He just said his name was Charlie.
There we go.
That's a nickname he gave himself, so honestly, it didn't catch on.
So what's the room number?
Give me a persuasion check, Ziansi.
My eye is still in the room.
4.
I don't think I could just let you up there. I mean, I need some proof that you're his friend. I mean, he said he kind of wanted to keep private, and he really hasn't come out of the room since he rented it.
This is why we need to go check on him, because
Yes.
he hasn't come out of his room since he's rented it, and people are worried about him. Us people, his...
Friends. We've been real worried since
Friends.
he fell on hard times, and he's been kind of depressed, and we're just checking in.
All right. So we would like to go up there if you don't mind. We're going to go visit him if that's okay with you.
Twitch, maybe a persuasion check.
17.
Oh. I'm real sorry. I just really can't let you up there. It's a sake of privacy. He said he really wanted to keep private, not let anyone else in. So
That's okay. How much for a room? On a super unrelated note.
On the lower floor, 1 gold piece per room. Rooms on the middle floor are 5, and the one on the top are 10. We also provide free breakfast and lunch.
Oh, that's real nice.
Unfortunately, only vegetables if you're not into that. But
I recently met a vegetarian who does some great things. Anyway, we don't have like $10 a room money, but I want a little bit. We gotta treat ourselves, so to speak. So maybe we go for the middle 5 gold piece a night room.
Twitch starts walking upstairs.
Okay, so you walk over to the stairs. You realize it's a steep slope up. There are no stairs, almost like a slide.
Ziansi says to Twitch under his breath, "So, do you still have your magic eye?
It's still up there watching him.
Has he reacted to the fact that we came in the building yet?"
You look back through your eye. You see that he is back at his post, looking at the lazy ladle with the firearm in his hand, looking through his scope. And at this point, Beatrix and Jaska, you've entered the building. So he appears to watch you guys enter that building.
So I'm observing the staircase while Billy's still talking it up with the front desk person.
Give me an Arcana check.
I rolled a 1 for a total of 9.
You have no idea.
I'll come back to the desk.
All right.
So I'm going to put down 5 gold pieces. Yeah, we'd like a room.
Give me a persuasion check.
27.
She kind of looks you up and down and says, "All right, I guess I'll let you do that." Takes the gold pieces, gives you a key.
You are very kind. Thank you very much. So let's go on up to our rooms again. We got to get rid of our backpacks, and then we're going to go shopping. Is there a place you recommend for shopping?
Not around here.
I need a tiny suit.
I would recommend the Lazy Ladle, but it closed down a few years ago, so.
It's a real bummer.
Fancy suit. I don't know any real suit makers around here. Most of those are reserved for the nobles, and they hire, I don't remember their name, but some sort of fancy guys.
I'll keep an eye out.
Yes.
Thank you for your help.
So I'm assuming you're approaching the stairs, Blackjack. As you approach and your feet get near it, you see the stairs all of a sudden form.
I told you you couldn't just walk in.
You guys making your way up?
Yeah, we'll follow Blackjack.
Yep.
So making your way up, I'd say because the eyes in the room twitch, you can kind of guesstimate which room it is.
It's this one.
Do we knock or do we just go like,
Let's go into our room first.
okay.
So as you guys enter the room, Jaska, Beatrix, you enter the Lazy Ladle. Actually, before you do, you approach it. It stands in front of you, and from the inside you can hear a woman's voice. "I brought tons of food for you all. Hope you're hungry." What would you all like to do?
We've just approached the door now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll quietly knock like a little pattern.
Yeah, come in.
She'll open the door. Well, thank you. And who do I see before me?
Inside, as you enter, you see a small kobold woman who appears to be pouring some sort of hard food in a number of bowls. Inside is also what looks like probably about a dozen cats. And as you enter, the kobold woman looks towards you, and her details become a lot clearer. Her eyes shine a bright blue, while her scales look old and worn out. "Hello, darlings. What can I do for you?"
Are you Mrs. Vera?
I would happen to be. And as you begin to speak, she pulls up 3 chairs that were over in the corner and grabs one for each of you. She sits down and pulls out a large box out of her bag. She opens the box and before reaching in, offers them out to you. "Would you all like some homemade pixie puffs?"
You're so kind. Just give me one moment, please. And Jaska will step over to the window that Charlie Lloyd had the boomstick pointed at. Is there any inside shutters that she can close?
Those probably would have been torn down after.
Okay.
But I'd say if you want to, you can make some makeshift shutters if you want to. There are boards on the windows, so it's clear that Charlie can't really even see into the building from that distance.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not sure why he's there, but he's obviously watching the building.
Okay. She'll just kind of do her best to help board the window up a little bit more.
Gotcha.
I'm so sorry, Miss Vera. It's just best right now to stay away from the windows.
Oh, all right.
But you're so kind. I'll definitely take one of those pixie puffs.
Are you taking one too?
Oh, yes. So Beatrix will introduce herself. Miss Vera, it's so wonderful to meet you, and I'll reach out and pat one of her hands. And thank you so much for your hospitality. And I'm going to take a pixie puff in each hand because they're delicious, I'm told.
You take a bite, and Jaska, this is your first time having one. But Beatrix, you had Whitaker's previously, didn't you?
I had half of one and shared the rest.
You would be glad to know that as you take a bite of this tastes very similar to the little bits of the one you had. And you know if Billy was here, he would be having a ball.
As I take a bite of this, you can just see on Beatrix's face, not only is it delicious, but there's a bit of a memory that goes along with it. And she pats herself up around her collarbone like, oh my goodness, like she's enjoying a moment with a memory. And then I will look back at Miss Vera and say, these are as delicious as I remember them.
Did your mother make them? You know, my secret ingredient I add to them is love.
A little bit of love goes very far in anything that you share.
So tell me about yourselves.
Well, we're just adventurers out on the road, and we were recently in Bleakburn.
Oh.
Visiting the Duke's Manor.
Oh, that's quite nice. You know, my son works there. Got a nice job there.
He's why we're here.
Oh.
I'm very sorry, Miss Vera. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out the letter and hands it to her.
And as Jaska does that, Beatrix kind of moves her chair over next to Miss Vera and sits close to her.
She sort of takes the letter and says, yeah. And she kind of opens it up slowly and kind of starts reading. As we'll go back to the other group.
Is our room like next door?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Blackjack, you got big ears. Put your ear on the wall and see if you can hear anything.
I shall listen in and see if I can.
We don't need to because the eye can see everything.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to have you make a perception check.
He's not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
It is so quiet on the other side. Dead silent. You'd want this guy as your hotel neighbor.
Now, there's a couple things. You got spells, if you want. First off, I could cast, all four of us could be invisible.
All four of us could instantly be in that room.
How are we going to do that?
He's going to run.
Leave it to me.
Tell me what it is, because I also don't want to, we don't want to startle him. He's got a weapon.
A boomstick.
Yeah, you can only shoot one of us. That's a 1 in 4 chance. The three of us making that.
Honestly, Mr.
Are you willing to roll those dice?
That's what we're here for, sir.
Mr. Raven
Come on,
is
it'll be fun.
not a very good shot when he's not startled, so...
Well, we have the element of surprise. Do we want to maintain that? Do we want to confront him?
do.
Or do we want to just observe?
Or do we just go knock on the door?
No, Blackjack, come on. Let's just pop in and like grab him. It'll be
It
fun.
would be pretty funny.
Room
but,
service.
What if
was thinking too.
what if he's not here for nefarious reasons?
It's Charlie. Let's just go knock on the door.
That's what I was thinking. He's not dangerous.
I know
Yeah.
I'm not there. I don't know how pointing a gun out the window is not nefarious.
Let's just go knock on the door.
Yeah, we can take him. Hey, Mr. Twitch, can you do anything if Mr. Charlie jumps out the window?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
As long as there's a plan B.
Yep, there
for
is.
when he jumps out the window.
I have a plan for everything. Let's go.
Let's
Twitch
go.
starts walking out the door. All right.
I go and I knock on the door.
I knock.
So you both walk up and knock at the same time.
I love it. That's it. Twitch says, Charlie, and then shifts to the eye.
Yeah, so you shift to the eye, you see him set down the long boomstick he was using and quickly reach for the one at his hip, the smaller one.
Got a smaller gun now. I say to the people in the hall with me,
And he slowly approaches the door.
let's come into the door.
Yote steps to the side of the door, so if there's like some keyhole type way that he looks out, he won't see Yote.
Who's at the lead?
I'm right in front of the
They're
door.
right next to each
Right
other.
next to each other. Okay. He opens the door and he pulls his hand away from the weapon at his hip.
Oh, my friend.
Charlie, don't mind if we do. And I brush past him.
He looks at you all and says, "Oh, it's great to make your acquaintance again, Billy, Blackjack, Ziansi," and looks over at Twitch, passing him. Whatever your name is?
Yeah, don't worry about it. What are you doing here? And I'll look out of his window with the vantage and see.
Oh, well, yeah. I was just trying to see. There was rumors of a little criminal group that was hiding out here, and I was thinking this older woman's the only one that comes in and out. I think she might be supplying them with some sort of ration so that they can stay here until the carnival comes.
You know, there's something different about you, Charlie. I can't quite put my finger on it. And I went to Blackjack and then, I know what it is. You're a long ways from home.
Oh, yes, I suppose I should explain that.
I'm shifting the eye while he's talking, down the street, across the street, and in through a crack in the window.
He says, after the incidents on the prime material, all of a sudden got whisked away into the city we are currently in. I've been working as a bounty hunter, currently searching for a group that supposedly is out to ruin this carnival coming up.
Explain whisked away. Like, I know how we got here. It was through a hole in the wall, and then like a really long fall, and then an island, and then another long fall, and then lots of walking.
And we lost our cat.
Lost as in lost, not lost as in dead. I'm pretty sure he's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever he is, he's just, having a good time.
I do want to say, you guys do know that Charlie did meet Pumpkin. What was your original question?
How did he get here? Explain whisked away, Mr. Charlie Raven.
It was strange. It was almost like I was pulled through something, like something big grabbed me and pulled me here, and now I'm here. Give me an insight check.
Oh, I didn't.
Anyone here?
I didn't draft my dice today, so let's see how we do.
Can I give myself guidance on that?
I have decent insight. I got a 16.
18.
16?
14.
All of you notice something is off about him. He used to be more of a nervous guy, but he seems almost more confident in his speech.
How long have you been here, Charlie?
About a month or so now.
Was that correlated to about how long we've been here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you probably came through here about the same time, but you landed in Athenus.
Yeah, I landed in Athenus. Whenever I got here, I met this guy. What was his name? He's kind of important around the city. Lord Oberon, I believe. And I was even hunting a small orange cat that was causing trouble around here. And
Is it Pumpkin? You know Pumpkin. Remember Pumpkin?
I remember I just told you we lost our cat.
Oh, yes, Pumpkin, right.
Little orange guy, talks in your brain.
Yes, supposedly he was apprehended, but I don't know much more than that.
So you working for Lord Oberon?
I am. Let's just say he has interest in this carnival, and I'm here to make sure that nothing gets ruined with that.
So you're keeping an eye out on the place across the street because you think that the old lady over there and her knitting club are up to no good?
It's a good place to hide out. I mean, abandoned years ago, and the old lady act could just be a little ruse.
Yote says through the mind link to Twitch,
Is there any way you can maybe detect illusion or see if this is the real Charlie Lloyd?
I'm not linked with Charlie. Say to the crew across the street, we got Charlie. He's an idiot. He thinks the old lady is running a gang out of the abandoned restaurant.
In the mind link, I also say, I think Mr. Charlie thinks that the cats are her gang because the rumor is she's giving them rations, and we know she's been feeding a bunch of cats.
As you guys have this mind link, we cut back to the other group as Vera begins to sob.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Aiden Cross as our Dungeon Master, Kiri Hester as Billy, Connor Shenold as Jaska, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Zionsi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Monument Studios, Ovani Sound, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by SD Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you're enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wild.
Bless her heart, she's just going and hanging out where her son used to be.
Listen, things were a lot happier at camp. Maybe we should go back.
You can't run from your problems. Now it's time to go out and make a difference in the world, Billy.
Wow, Zionse.
We didn't really ever know the real Whitaker. Can you give us a couple of talking points so we could be like, yeah, he was really into dinosaurs, or I don't know, jazzercise.
Supposedly it closed down about a year or two ago due to health concerns involving a rat infestation.
Mr. Twitch.
Excuse me?
It's terribly
We get
sorry.
hungry, you know.
They wash their hands and everything. Their
So is
Twitch
there
is very
anything
clean.
in the building now, or is it just vacant?
It's a spirit Halloween.
Was one found in one of the cook's hat, like he was controlling his hair?
That's where my head went. I can't help that.
To Ratatouille, yes. You can't not go there.
Right?
The gold in the bag should be enough for Vera to live comfortably for the rest of her life. It's platinum.
The gold in the bag is platinum.
It's platinum gold.
Platinum.
It's a specialty gold.
Try that again. Say the coins in the bag. I think we're ready to go ahead on over to the Lazy Ladle, or what used to be the Lazy Ladle, the ex-Lazy Ladle, the restaurant formerly known as the Lazy Ladle.
I think you've covered it.
I think we get it.
I have a question,
Yep.
DM. I am small.
Yep.
I'm tiny.
Yep.
I am widow.
Yep.
Do I think that, hypothetically, now that I'm a genius, Billy is now a genius,
And humble.
Apparently.
because, sometimes I ride on Beatrix's shoulder when she runs. Do I feel like if she did that poof, poof, poofing, that I would get left behind, or if I would go with her?
You'd go with her.
Okay.
Beatrix is not leaving Billy.
You recognize the form as Charlie Lloyd. Of all
What? That son of a...
Hold on.
I almost said the dirty word.
If it's Charlie, and I know it's going to be a little rude, but
Is it that much of a threat?
I know he's important to the plot, but let's just head into the ladle.
Unless
He will
we
still
wanna,
be there if he's important to the plot.
I think we should just send in Beatrix and Billy, and then the rest of us can check on Whitaker's mother.
You sure you want to send me in to talk to Whitaker's mother?
Okay, you can go after them.
I was actually
all
thinking.
of the rest of y'all, me and Twitch will go talk to.
I think the best thing would be Twitch, Blackjack, and Zianci going to talk
That's where I was gonna go.
Charlie,
Charlie.
while
Yes.
you three go
I
talk
say
to
we all jump him.
Let's roll into
don't
the
even know
parking
what's
lot.
intense
Getting
yet.
smarter than that, Zianci.
I'm observing the staircase while Billy's still talking it up with the front desk person.
Give me an Arcana check.
I rolled a 1 for a total of 9.
You have no idea what this is.
What a stupid staircase. Well,
That's not how you build stairs.
I'll come back to the desk.
She'll quietly knock a little pattern into it, not like your regular standard, just like a. He'll do the sound effect.
It's not going to sound like that.
We'll go back to the other group. You all have set your stuff down, or do it, or what are you guys doing? in
Well,
here?
we're not going to set anything down because we're D&D adventure, so we have everything with us at all times.
I don't know how pointing a gun out the window is not nefarious.
It's Charlie. It's Charlie.
Maybe he
I
just
know he's incompetent.
He
but
doesn't-
That doesn't mean that.
he has a scope. He doesn't have binoculars. He needs it to see.
I'm so happy that this character is just so stupid.
I'm shifting the eye while he's talking down the street, across the street, and in through a crack in the window.
Okay, I don't know.
To keep an eye on Jaska and
I move the eye
Beatrix.
to the other location
I
where the
see.
party is. Yeah.
I thought you were just having him look through the window.
No.
It's a different angle. Wanted a long view. Wanted to get an establishing
Work
shot.
for the eye. I loves you.
Yeah, Twitch is just panning the camera. It's fine.
Deontay says through the mind link to Twitch.
Is there any way you can maybe detect illusion or see if this is the real Charlie Lloyd?
I got too much going on already.
That was a lot to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You're just so...
Can you do it?
I'm gonna.
You have
I don't know what
skills.
kind of web you want me to weave here.
On the lower floor, 1 gold piece per room. Rooms on the middle floor are 5, and the one on the top are 10. We also provide free breakfast and lunch.
Oh, that's real nice.
Unfortunately, only vegetables, if you're not into that.
We don't have big $10 buckets. I was trying to say
I've got the biggest.
Edit.
okay.